The Ravens have the persistence to break through. He wasn't necessarily talking about the running game, though you might think so. Take a listen.
The NFL season is a race to improve, to become the best team that you can over the course of the long haul. And the race is a marathon, and we've got to continue to try to improve as much as we can. We want to play better. We want to play winning football. We didn't do the things we needed to do to win. So we've got to keep pounding the rock, and the rock is going to crack.
Okay, so here's the thing, Brew. We've shown this graphic often, highest rushing percentage, and usually it's Ravens #1. Yep. But since this is since Brady took over for the Bills, they shot up to #2. Yeah. Steelers are #1. Saints, Falcons, Bears, they can't throw the ball, so you got to run it.
That's so unfair.
It's a Ravens conversation.
70% of the games.
I don't want to talk about the Bears right now. I don't want to talk about the Bears right now. Buying or selling stock in the winless Ravens.
You're such a jerk.
You do that all the time.
The context doesn't necessarily support what I'm about to say, but I'm taking it this way.
All right.
He talked to Jim. He talked to Jim.
This is just
that quote. You said it. Keep pounding the rock, and it will crack. That is an obvious reference. He slid it in there. I'm taking it this way. Run the football.
That's what I'm saying.
Run the football.
So are you buying more stock?
Because I'm buying stock. I got the stock. I got them going to the Super Bowl, so I'm still with the stock. Yeah. But yes, I'm buying stock in them because I think they're going to start running the football more, and that's going to become their identity. I know they have other places to improve. I think they will. They've been too good over the last several years. With Lamar, I mean, we know he's, third all-time in regular season win percentage. He's still there. He's smack dab in the middle of his prime. Mm-hmm. So I just think they're going to get it right. They obviously got to win this weekend, though. But
yeah, I don't think it's about running the ball necessarily. There is a famous quote where you talk about pounding the rock, and it's not the first time you strike the rock or the 100th, but eventually the whatever number it is will split the giant rock, and it's used a lot in the football world. So there's that component to it. The thing that's frustrating as you look at him is Lamar's been pressured the fourth most of any quarterback. So talked about the struggling offensive line, and it's the same thing with Derrick Henry. He's getting hit. His his contact point of contact hit is I think 2.6 yards, which is one of the worst in the NFL. So that talks to the offensive line as well. And then can we look at the points allowed graphic? We talked about where they were defensively, and historically
that's not good.
They've been third, second. There's the hiccup in 2021 with the 19th, third, first, and now they're 28th. And you're going to have you should have some improvement, but it's pretty difficult to go from 28th to being one of those top 5 defensive that they've historically had. So there's a lot of areas of concern. The only thing you can do at this point is pound the rock with the way they've been performing.
And defensively, it's almost like they lost key personnel in their defensive coordinator who went to go become a head coach who a team's now doing quite well. Here's the other problem for the Baltimore Ravens. So there's a little part of my brain that's worried they're going to have just a dreadful season, like a shockingly
5-12,
5-12, because the worst case scenario for the Chiefs four-peat is Bill Belichick going there. So I don't want a disaster season for them.
That's interesting.
And it's unfair to. I'm just
breaking news.
No. I'm just saying I don't. But regardless, here's the reason. Here's the biggest reason to sell stock. They have 3 easy games left. We can show you their schedule. Washington, Denver, and the Giants. They're non-divisional games. Dallas, Buffalo, at Tampa, at the Chargers, Philly, at Houston. Yeah. And then 6 divisional games, none of which are easy. The Pittsburgh, we thought would be the easiest. Lamar's beaten Pittsburgh once in his career. Cincinnati, he does very well against. The so you have 12, in my opinion, very tough games. You're 0-2. So that's the biggest concern for me is, and it was a concern going into the year, was how tough that schedule is going to be. It's even tougher if Pittsburgh's for real. Oof. You know what I mean? And so I'm certainly not buying Baltimore stock.
Since 2002, 103 teams start 0-3. 1 team made the playoffs. That's a must win. This is going to sound strange. They don't even know how to lose. It's almost like a team figures something out, exploits it, and they get rolled, which is what happened against the Packers, which is what happened against the Saints. It's what's going to happen against the Ravens.
So hold on. So here's my question. I don't dispute that either.
Yeah.
Why is it going to happen against the Ravens?
Well,
I know why it happened.
Because this is your own stat that you put up, and I was like, wow. And then I just said, Josh, put up that. Yeah. Nobody in the NFC can beat Lamar.
Lamar, listen,
20-1 as career as a starter.
That's a good one. Wow.
So it's like, I'm not ready.
6.
And if they're going to run the ball again, they're going to run it just like the Saints, except Lamar and Derrick Henry.
I
do
think
half of Kamara stuff.
This was a point, actually. I wish I could give the guy credit by name. This was a point made by a viewer of the
really?
What's Right podcast that I would like to give credit to because I thought it was really smart, which is, do we think the Cowboys defense has a specific problem with the Shanahan-style offenses? Because the Niners crack them every time.
Right.
Yeah.
The Dolphins beat them. That's Shanahan tree.
Yep.
The Packers beat them. That's Shanahan tree. The Saints' new offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak. That's Shanahan tree. And all those teams, but that's the direct coaching tree, not just his system, the direct coaching tree. That all of those teams, except for the Miami game, scored 1,000,000 points, went up and down the field on them. And Miami, it was late in the season against, that was kind of the resistible force against the movable object. Neither was great against great teams last year. That's not who Baltimore is. And so listen, your point about Lamar's success against the NFC is a fair one, and it's why I said my list of reasons is not Lamar-centric. I just question how good this Baltimore... Vegas is telling me here, and we can leave it here. Vegas is telling me here either the Cowboys are like the 15th, 16th best team in football, or Baltimore is like a top 4 team in football. Because if they're both around somewhere from 8 to 12, the home team should be favored. Yeah. And I just don't think that's the case. But it's just like
you said, Dallas, you don't think last week was indicative of who they are? Mm-hmm. Hardly anybody, save maybe you, thinks Baltimore last week was indicative
of
both
weeks?
Who they were.
What about the 2 weeks?
Well, they lost to the Chiefs by an inch, or at least a chance to beat them by an inch.
So close.
It was a close game.
Okay.
All right, Jerry Jones finding a silver lining in the shellacking the Cowboys received from the Saints. Maybe some L's actually good during the season. Take a listen.
Albatross around our neck is that we've been a good to very good team during the season over the last 4 or 5 years with Mike, and we haven't done well on the playoff. So let's trade some challenges during the season for doing well in the playoff, if you want to look at it that way.
I'll buy that. Are you buying adversity can help Dallas in the postseason?
No, but I also just think everyone, this isn't to me another example of the Cowboys just kind of being discussed differently than every other team. The Cowboys are in this weird spot that is usually reserved only for dynasties, which is every win is meaningless and every loss is an indictment. And the level of overreaction to a terrible game when we saw the Bengals lose to the Patriots.
44 to 19?
But the Patriots, by the way, are not. I will tell you, I'd rather get blasted by the Saints than lose it all to the Patriots.
No, time out. What's the difference between the Saints and the Patriots? Preseason, though, we're both bottom-feeding teams.
Or the Saints are.
No. Just for the record, the difference between Saints and the Patriots is the Saints are a consistently middling team last year as well when they won 8 or 9 games. And the Patriots, we thought, were going to be the worst team in the league. I don't want to talk about the Patriots right now. I'm just giving you my opinion.
I'm just saying, but don't act like the Saints Saints were sneaky good. The Saints are went in there and smashed them.
The Saints, here's a couple differences between Saints and Patriots is the Saints before the year didn't say, our offensive line is so bad we can't start our better quarterback.
What is the Saints win total over under? Do we know it?
Right now?
No, preseason.
Drastically higher than the Patriots.
7?
Yeah. So the Saints.
Josh, can you look that up?
Okay. The Patriots had the lowest projected win total in football. The Saints didn't. But again, I'm just okay. Take that out of it. People are okay with glossing over the Ravens, blowing a 10-point lead to the Raiders. The Niners losing to Sam Darnold. Philadelphia's debacle on Monday. Green Bay having their quarterback hurt for the season, for the short term. Detroit blowing a home game to Tampa. For any of these perennial playoff teams, we'll give them a mulligan. For the Cowboys, it's a sweeping indictment on who they are.